Hey everybody, welcome back to the episode. Appreciate you coming in, appreciate you joining. As always, continue to subscribe, continue to like the videos and comment. Any questions that you have, like I always say, definitely drop a comment below and I get to it in the next episode. It's been a little minute, I believe it's been like a month since I came out with my last episode. Usually, like I said before, I was gonna go to like the more 2 to 3 week span without coming out without another video, just to give you all a taste of holding on to stocks for a little bit longer versus day trading or getting in and out of stocks every single week. More of just buying stocks, holding it, seeing how your portfolio matures over time, just to give you a taste of actually buying and holding stocks. Because like I said, it's not always about trading. Sometimes it's about investing, finding those stocks that you can put money into, continue to pour money into, whether it rises or goes down, because you actually believe in the stock. You have an end goal at the end of the day with this stock. So you're not really worried about the week in and week out roller coaster that stock is doing, whether it's going up or going down. So that's something that I want you all to experience. Like I said, been out for like the past month. Haven't came out with anything in the past month, so I'm back here. Definitely want to get back in tune. I'm gonna do something special this month for the next 3 weeks. I'm definitely gonna come out with episodes for the next 3 weeks. That way, give you all what I did at the beginning, how I used to come out with videos every single week. This month, I feel like it's going to be a hot month, and definitely December. I think it's going to be a great month for the market. As I've been saying for the past couple of episodes, it was more of like a bear market, which I still believe, is it's not at the point where stocks, every single stock is going to continue to go up, right? So that's not what I'm saying here. I still think we're in more of going to continue to go in a downtrend versus going in an uptrend, just because everything right now is, when you look at the overall market, right? The overall market is pretty high compared to what it's usually at. Don't mean, that doesn't mean things can't continue to grow. Certain industries can't continue to grow. What I'm saying there is that a lot of things are already overvalued. So when you're looking at the industry or the stock market as a whole, a lot of things are very high right now. So we can't continue to go up. Eventually, we're going to have that drop, whether it's going to be, the chip shortage continue to affect the market, or another Delta variant or something like that, to come into the market. Something's going to, continue to drive the market a little bit lower than where it's at now. But like I said, there are going to be winners within that time period. There are going to be stocks that go up, companies that do great things within the next, year, 2 years, 3 years, to see, a great overall growth within certain industries. But overall, as I continue to say, I believe we're at a point now that you have to see some of these industries start to tailor back and go back some, especially, when you look into the tech industry. That right there, I think, it's going to continue to grow over time. When I'm looking at the tech industry, I don't really see it, having a downtrend, but I do see periods of where tech isn't really going to matter as much because you're going to have other things play a role. But like I said, overall, I think tech is going to go up. So that's one of the industries that I would say, if you're looking into investing versus trading, that's one of the industries I would say look into, because that's more of an investment. It's going to mature over time. We're going to just use technology more and more as a whole. As you see with EVs, autonomous vehicles, things like that, we're going to use technology more and more, just because it makes a lot of things easier and simpler versus not having technology, and reversing back time type of deal. So that's one of the things I want you all to focus on. Like I said, that's one of the things I'm going to be focused on over these next 3 weeks, when I'm coming out episodes every Sunday, 9 p.m. I'm definitely going to be focused on tech-driven stocks, and then not just tech, but any other industry that I see having growth, in the short term versus overall next, 2 to 3 years type of deal. But on this episode, if you haven't already heard, Friday after the bill closed, the infrastructure bill was passed. So that's a good thing. I believe it's $1.9 trillion was passed, which for me personally, I think that's a good thing. We can use that money within the economy. It's just how it's spent and where it's spent. That's always where it matters. And I'm pretty sure when you look at governments and things like that, and you look at both sides of the aisle, that's ultimately what people wanted to focus on. Where is the money actually being spent? So that's something that I'm excited about. And I'm definitely glad that it was passed, because when I look at the market, as I've been talking about before, right? I believe it was probably about 5 or 6 episodes ago, it was the infrastructure episode when I was talking about that is where the market is still centered around, right? So until that bill is passed, that's where the market is going to go. It's going to be a roller coaster, up and down, up and down. Now, finally, we're here. The bill is passed. I actually thought, maybe it can get passed earlier, a month, 2 months ago, but it didn't. But we're here now. That's the good thing about that. So I want to focus on what stocks can boom this week, right? So after the bill closed on Friday, the infrastructure bill was passed. So Monday, you're going to see certain stocks go up due to that, right? Great news. Overall, I believe Monday we're going to have a great market, especially Tuesday. Next week in general, I think we're going to have a great market just because that bill is passed. But what's within that bill, as I spoke about on the infrastructure episode, that package has a lot of good stuff within it that is, future driven, future focused, that can, change the world and help the world and become a better place as far as climate change and affecting the way we affect the world as a whole. It's definitely a great package that can help us out and definitely help the world become a better place. So part of that package, what I like to focus on is EV, right? What are we going to do with electric vehicles? And within that package, you have infrastructure, you have charging stations being set up. So when you look at charging stations, what stocks are charging stations? Blink Charging. That's one of the big names that people know about. They have great, batteries, stuff like that, charging stations, things like that, that they set up across, all of North America, whatever the case may be, they can easily set up since this package is passed now. Many other companies, not just Blink Charging, that's just one of the names that came to my head, but many other companies are doing that, and I believe we're going to have a great uptrend just because this package is passed. And that is what, if you're looking into stocks and you're in the stock market, that is what you want to focus on. Where is this money being spent at? What is going to help? Where is it going to actually make the stock market go up or make this actual stock go up? And that's what you want to focus on because that's where you're going to see your money and your gains at, right? So as I mentioned earlier, charging stations. Any company that does charging stations, you're going to see the stock or the price of the stock go up. Why? Because like I said, the government is now funding money towards those type of projects. Anything solar panel, anything electric, or revolving around electric, that is going to boom now because now you're seeing this package pass, you're seeing money being pumped towards these companies. Over the next couple of weeks, you're going to see companies be awarded contracts due to the government, and that's just going to make those stocks go up, up, and up. Another thing that I want you all to focus on, not only charging stations, but electric vehicle companies. Same thing. They're going to jump and do, tremendous numbers over the next over the next couple of weeks because, like I said, with this package passed, money is now being funded and pushed towards these stocks, towards these companies, I should say. So you're just going to see their stocks being increased, especially when they start announcing that they're now getting government funding. That's going to be the next big, I feel like, headline catcher that a lot of people should be, focused on which companies are going to get this actual government funding. Once they actually release that, you're going to see the stock overnight. Usually they release it after the bell close, and they let you know, hey, we was awarded this government contract. Now we're going to spend this money. It's going to help us, make more vehicles, build more plants, or put more charging stations out there on the road. Wherever the case may be, that's something they're going to, package up and release after the bell close. So you want to be early on these type of companies, which, like I spoke about a couple of episodes ago, you could have already started investing into these companies. But if you haven't, now is a good time to definitely get your feet in the game and go ahead and try to, get you something early. I would say personally, me, if I am not already in certain stocks, I want to get myself in the game now early. Monday, Tuesday, if the stock hasn't already jumped, you're going to eventually start seeing sympathy type plays that's going to continue to rise and go up over time, right? So what I mean by sympathy plays are pretty much, you have a big company, let's say Ford is awarded a contract. Ford is now making a lot of electric vehicles. They're awarded this contract because they have electric vehicles and they're doing a good job within the electric vehicle hemisphere. So now, or atmosphere, I should say. So now that Ford is now jumping, getting this money, you're going to see other companies that's related to Ford, right? That's similar to Ford, but not Ford, right? So car companies, things that's doing similar things to Ford, go up because now people think, if Ford got this contract, we also could potentially get this contract at this company X, B, or C, whatever the case you want to be, right? Now, those are the stocks that you're going to also see rise. So when I'm referring to those stocks I call like some of those penny stocks, some of those lower end, lower price stocks. One of them that I love talking about, and I want to, tell people, hey, get in early while you can, is IDEX, right? That stock has went from pennies to $1, $2, $3, floats up and down. And that's one of those stocks that I feel like is going to, rise as electric vehicles and electric everything goes up, because they have their hands in a lot of things that's involving electric. Not only do they have electric vehicles, they do electric tractor trailers, electric farming equipment, things like that. That's something that's big that a lot of people aren't talking about. That's going to be the next, I feel like, big thing, right? Because we already have electric vehicles, but what about electric farming equipment? That's something that we do, that we use, that we need here in the world to, grow vegetables, grow our food that we eat every single day. That also takes gas, also puts out bad emissions into the atmosphere. So to avoid that, you want to change that to electric, because you already changed cars. So you want to start thinking about that, and so on, right? So that company has already got their hand involved in something besides electric vehicles. Those type companies you want to go ahead and get your money into, because they already are looking beyond, right? They're looking outside the box versus just looking at only electric vehicles. So for me personally, those type of companies I look at that I think are great candidates for investments and get into early. Now, do I think they're going to be $100, $200 stocks or like Tesla? Personally, no, I don't think these stocks are going to be that well. But like I said, I think they're going to be good stocks. They're going to have growth. You're going to have a chance to make good money on them if you get in early. And that's all I, try to do when I'm looking into stocks or in the stock market as a whole. I like to get into stocks early, get out while, before the actual peak. Because, 9 times out of 10, you're never going to make that peak. You have to, get out somewhere, make your stop somewhere along that roller coaster ride up. Because if you wait until the peak, that's when it's too late. You don't know when to get out, and then you're at the peak now. And then once you get the peak, you think it's going to go up another $1, $10, and then it drops, right? So you want to get out while you can, while you're making good money. Like I always preach to people, take your profits while you have them. Don't be afraid to get out when it's green. Definitely get out, cash in when it's green versus cashing in when it's red, and if you lost money. Like I always say, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not here to tell you when to buy or sell a stock. All I do is talk about what I personally do within the stock market, how I personally trade. But for me personally, that's one of the things that I focus on, taking the money while it's green. Because stocks, they have their own behaviors. Each stock has a behavior that you have to learn, and stocks can definitely, have a good day and have a bad day, right? So you don't want to be there or be in there when the stock is having a bad day. You want to get out when it's having a good day. I know it's green. I know it seems like, it can continue to grow, jump another $1 or $2, but there's no need to risk your gains over another $1 when you've already made money. So that's why I like to preach and tell people all the time, because that's something that I focus on. But that is one of the main things that you have to focus on over these next 3 weeks when I make these episodes. Take your money while you can. Don't waste time. Don't look for the future and say, I'm going to hold on to these stocks, because they're going to have their waves. But certain stocks, like I mentioned earlier, for me, like IDEX, those type of stocks, I feel like those I don't get out, right? I get into them and I stay in until I have a price target. I ride the waves. Like I was mentioning earlier, how I was not coming out with episodes for you all. I would come out, one every 2 to 3 weeks. I want you all to learn how to ride the wave with certain stocks versus, trading every stock. Those are one of the stocks that you have to look at investing in versus trading, because they're going to have their waves, they're going to have their up and downs, but eventually it's going to pay off over the course of years, 2 years, 3 years, whatever the case may be. So that's one of the things, or that's one of the industries that you all have to definitely focus on since this package is passed. But a lot of things that, a lot of people aren't talking about right now, which I had another episode about that you definitely should check out after this episode, is broadband. Broadband is very huge. A lot of people don't talk about that. A lot of people only focus on the electric vehicle or electric aspect of this package. But broadband is also within this package, and broadband is not accessible. It's not big in a lot of places here in America, right? A lot of people don't understand that there are very rural areas here in America that don't have internet access. With this package, it's aimed to help that. So you're going to see a lot of those companies that offer that, or you're going to see a lot of companies start to offer more broadband out there in these rural areas. And what does that mean? More revenue, because now they can tap another source of income that they wasn't getting before. And you're just going to see their stocks go up. So that's another industry that I want you all to focus on. Broadband, broadband, broadband. A lot of people aren't talking about that part of the package, and those stocks have, like I said, they've grown. I mentioned one before on the broadband episode. If you want to know about broadband companies, go check that episode out. I mentioned plenty of broadband companies within that episode, and one of them, like I said, I mentioned it was been teetering up and down throughout the past 2 years since Corona, right before Corona started, and throughout Corona's existence, it's been teetering up and down, up and down. But I see since this package passed, I feel that stock is going to definitely shoot up. If not Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that stock is going to see itself shoot up, because a lot of people are going to start focusing on that. Because like I said, a lot of people already know about the electric aspect of that package, but a lot of people aren't already invested into the broadband aspect of that package. And that is something huge, and I think people need to start focusing on, because once people start pouring money into it and you start seeing the volume increase on these type of stocks, that's when you see the stock rise and rise and rise. So it's better to get in early, and I always preach getting into stocks early. So broadband, I would tell people, if you haven't already watched my broadband episode, go check it out. You'll find a lot of good gems in there, or you'll already see, hey, just make a list of some of the companies that I named in that broadband episode, and then check them out on Monday. Check them out how they are now, check them back on Monday, and you'll see those are some of the stocks that's slightly increasing, and they'll increase more and more and more once the volume gets into them. So definitely check those companies out. Like I said, this episode, I wanted to focus on the infrastructure package. I don't want to keep you all too long. Definitely be coming out episodes over the next 3 weeks. So I wanted to keep this episode short and sweet, but I was very excited about that infrastructure package. It's something that I think is going to be great. As I already mentioned, electric is going to be big, but broadband is something I want you all to definitely focus on. If you haven't already checked that out, check out broadband companies. If you don't want to check out the episode, just go Google broadband companies, and those are the things that you want to focus on. Check out their past, as I spoke about episode 2 or 3. Check out the history. Go back 5 years ago. What were they doing 5 years ago? See what type of company they were. See what type of company they are now, and then do your research and do your due diligence and see if you want to invest in those companies or not. But like I said, that's going to be a big part of the package that people are not focused on just yet. So definitely check that out. As always, thank you all for tuning in. Sorry I've been gone for so long. Definitely busy over this past month. But like I said, over the next 3 weeks, I'll be having episodes every Sunday, 9 p.m. Any question, comments, drop a comment below, and I definitely get to it in the next episode. Thank you all for tuning in. God bless.